Hi, welcome to Citizen Survival Plan. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today, I want to get into a topic about what is a collapse going to look like and what are you running from. I see a lot of channels on YouTube. There's new ones all the time on people talking about bug out gear, crafting shelters, and other things that I don't think is going to be important for most of us, for people who are living in a neighborhood, who are living in the suburbs, and in other places that normal people would be living. When I think about what is going to happen, primarily a monetary failure of the entire system, not just in the United States, but around the globe. I think about all of these problems happening right where you are. I kind of always ask myself the question, why is everyone so obsessed with bugging out? This is not going to be a reality for most people, especially if you have children. I watch very knowledgeable people talk about SEER training, that is survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. What are you running from? I don't understand this, and I see people talk over and over and over again about it. If a monetary societal collapse were to happen, your emergency is going to take place where you're living, at your house or whatever. The electricity can go out, food stores, grocery stores are going to run empty, supply chains is going to stop working. It's not like an emergency is going to happen and all of a sudden you're going to be evading and surviving in the woods. You are going to need to take care of yourself where you're at. And again, I've talked about this on other podcasts too, but just running away into the woods is not going to help you. Even if your neighborhood is becoming a hostile place, it is going to be better to try and work with the people around you to help keep it safe rather than just to run away and live in the woods outside of a shelter. If you have another place to go, that is excellent too. But also consider, if you have some other place that you can go, you're not really going to know the people there. You know the people in your neighborhood. You're hopefully friendly with them and can work with them in an emergency. I was watching a podcast where a guy was talking about the first $100 you spend and the first $1,000 you spend on gear. And I'm not kidding you. It was all knives, blades, cutting tools, and cordage. All stuff that I don't typically care that much about. Because we are not in the military. We are not evading and surviving, getting away from forces that are attacking us. Now, there is going to be hostile people trying to probably take food, resources, and rob you. This is why you need to work with other people. One thing that I've done to help myself with this is have a lot of extra supplies put back. I have buckets of rice and beans that are ultra cheap that I have stored, and that food's not even for me. That is for me to cook and to give out to other people around me to keep them calm and from attacking me and to work with me in a situation. If you can offer other people some aid instead of just being hostile toward them and running away and being secretive about everything you're doing, you're gonna be a little bit better off, in my opinion. You guys can write in the comments about how wrong I am, but this is something that I have planned for. Also keep in mind, if it's just you and your wife, other people in the neighborhood, specifically younger men, can help you carry water back to your place, help filter water, help cook. People can help you do all kinds of stuff that is going to be manually done in SHTF. This is going to be helpful to you. Now, there is going to be a time and a place that the area you're in could just become too hostile to live in. You need to be able to recognize this before you bug out. So you need to recognize this at least 3 or 4 days before you do bug out. That way you can load a vehicle or an ATV or something, I don't care what it is, and get to where you're going. Have an alternate location that you could get away to and take your gear with you. Take your water filters, take your power supplies, take your radio equipment with you. You don't want to abandon critical infrastructure, your personal infrastructure that you have. It's mobile, but it is infrastructure for you. It's your stuff that you could operate to help you. I don't ever want to leave my house without good equipment and my stuff because I'm going to be taking care of other people and children. Most people are going to be like this. One funny sort of aspect I think about with all this bug out fantasy and all these channels dedicated to survivalism, like woods survivalism and evasive techniques and things like that, is who is going to live in all the houses? Is everyone just going to bug out and the whole neighborhoods and everything is just going to be cleared out and empty? I would rather live where I am than move to another location where I'm a refugee or building shelters in the woods. Staying home is always going to be your top priority. It's funny because you go live in the woods, I'm staying here. I don't want to leave. So one thing about this channel is we're not preparing for natural disasters or anything like that here. If there's a natural disaster, that doesn't mean that the world has collapsed. That just means you can go stay in a hotel or something for a couple days. You know, even if your home is destroyed, you're not going to die. I mean, you can go live in another hotel, town, somewhere else for a little while you rebuild. It's not the end of the world. Hopefully you have insurance. A lot of the stuff I do talk about could help you in a natural disaster, but that's really not the gear that this channel is in. We are in preparing for a societal and monetary collapse of the system, which is what I think is the most likely thing to happen. Another thing I want to talk about is the world is not going to end like that. Even if the power grid failed and everything stopped turning, it's not like everyone is going to starve in their houses immediately. People are going to have a couple days worth of food no matter what. I mean, there is some ramen noodles or some soup in some people's houses that they could live off for a little while. It's not like things are going to stop and you're just going to be fighting people right away. I mean, this is going to take a couple of days, in my opinion. A couple of days, not a couple of weeks. But it gives you enough time to get ready, cook some freeze-dried meals, think about what you're going to do, move if you need to move, or start working with people around you, depending on the situation, to get what you need done. My final thoughts on this is there is a lot of channels that talk about all this survival and evasion and crafting in the woods, and it's probably not bad skills to have. My point of this is you're probably not going to be using them. You're not going to be evading the starving people throughout the woods. They're not going to be chasing you. You're not going to be evading like you would in the military training that some of these people have. This is just not going to be the reality. You are going to be fighting where you are and where you're living. You also don't want to leave that area because you know your town. You know where supplies would come in. If any were to come through, you know where all the local spots are. You know where the creeks are. You know everything about where you live currently. Moving and trying to live somewhere else or live in a brand new place in the woods creating shelters is most likely just going to end in you being dead. This also means that I care more about trying to work with the people around me than trying to move somewhere else and meeting new people that are going to present new problems. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.